This prime piece of real estate is the cause of a rift between residents of Hopkins Village and private developers who purchased parcels of the land.
We had dispute over that area from 2008.
What area is that?
The same cemetery, that's a cemetery area. That land in proper was owned by the people of Hopkins, and that was the said land where our ancestors used to bury the dead from Newtown. And we need to know the fact before we go to the act. The fact of the matter is that Newtown was established in 1800s, but the people of Newtown were not allowed to intern or bury the dead in Newtown. So what did they do? They took their dead into Hopkins area we call Hawaii. So it is where they bury the dead.
Okay.
So that entire area is known as the Hopkins Cemetery.
Former chairman of Hopkins Village, Orlando Augustine, told News 5 that the plot of land changed ownership from as far back as 2007.
Hopkins Harbor took over that land. And Hopkins Harbor, I don't know where it is right now. It's dismantled or it's dysfunctional right now. And then they decided to sell the land. They bought that area from whom, I don't know. But I can say for the government, not from us. But the thing was this now. There was a MOU signed by Hopkins Harbor in 2008. Under that MOU, that they were to do certain things to Hopkins during that time.
With the land.
In lieu of the land. But that didn't settle. Because one of the things that we decided was that 10 acres of that land was to be called Newtown Memorial Park.
All right.
That Newtown Memorial Park is the land that was designated for Hopkins people to use as an area where you just recreate. No one was allowed to build there.
The land was parceled off and sold to a few developers. Augustine says that even though he was the chairman of the village at the time, he knew nothing about it.
It was 2019.
Yes.
The entire area was surveyed. Mm-hmm. But it was surveyed without our knowledge. I was the chairman at that time.
Oh.
I did not know anything about the survey.
How so?
Because of the bureaucracy of the system. That's the way the system works. They just enter your community, they can do what they want without even informing you, the village council. That's what caused this problem. So they entered the area and it happened into different blocks and different persons owning different parts of the land.
Emilio Basilio Zabane explained to us how he managed to acquire a 1.02 acre portion from an employee who had leased it several years ago. His piece of land is nowhere near the cemetery, and he says he has no issue with people going to enjoy themselves on the beach in front of his land.
It was a friend of mine that came and offered me this property. He had a lease on it. He had already got the purchase on it. And I got the purchase and transferred it to titles in my name. Well, I think the practice was that the chairman had to put his signature on any land that was recommended.
Recommended.
Any land, the chairman had to have his approval. I thought it was a great practice. Well, I looked at it as an opportunity. I saw we had big developments in the area. I knew the two developers in the area, and I thought it would have been a great opportunity for me to look at it as an opportunity way to develop the whole area. Actually, all this property belongs to these foreign investors here. They have their titles on these properties, and I thought it would have been a great opportunity because that would be a great opportunity because I am right in that area there.
Do you have an issue with people going from the village?
Absolutely not. I look here. I own 23 acres of beach property in Dangriga. And you should see what a place look like on a Sunday. And Mr. Zabane get up every Monday morning with the crew and clean up or mess out there. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
So I have no access in this. I have no problem for 66 feet for the access of the public. That's in the laws of this country.
But the villagers are upset and they want back the 10 acres as public property.
You're not Belizean to start with. Am I right?
Sir, I'm not a lover. I don't fight.
I'm the same thing, but do you know you can get hurt doing things like this?
I'm not here to get hurt.
Yeah, but do you know you can get hurt doing things like this, doing things for people that you... I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you the facts.
I've just got threatened.
You did not get threatened.
I can get hurt. Not physically.
Exactly, because this is a situation that is beyond your control. You're being told what to do. And you don't know where you're coming into. There's a cemetery in there that's for my people. Do you know that?
Yes.
The bottom line is the entire area was a cemetery. That's the bottom line, you know. So even it has been cut into pieces, even they cut it into half, whatever, initially it's a cemetery. That's the bottom line there.
You were designated for a cemetery.
Yeah, it was a cemetery.
Yeah, yeah.
It was. Because people were buried there already.
Yeah.
Let them get together, discuss as to what is the way forward. I don't know what is the intention of those guys to build it.
I'm a reasonable guy. I look at every possibilities. Let's sit down, be honest. I have given up a lot for people. This is not in me. I mean, what is the purpose for what you want the property for? If it's something substantial, I mean, everybody will have to give up something out here. They will have to give up road access. They will have to give up. No, only me will have to give up. So, you know, I mean...
The road that is there now, who's...
That's actually the developers here.
Okay, that's private property.
Yeah, private property.
Okay.
I'm sure, you know what I mean? But what could be a much more viable investment than building something substantial here where people are employed?
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.